Hello guys, it's December 21st and I'm going to show you around my yard. It's an acre big and some of all the fruit trees, and here's one of the apples. I forgot exactly what kind they are, but this one just about doubled in size. It's about 5 feet tall, now it's around 10. It's doing pretty well. It's been in the ground for about 2 seasons now. First season it got up to about 5 feet or so, and yeah, here's like another good at least 5.5 feet of new growth. It's pretty awesome. Well, I don't know what happened to this one. It's another apple tree. I think this one was a gala. I guess this root ball got rot or something, but it just ended up dying off. Now it's like all wobbly. It just sucks, but I can't do anything about it. And here's another apple tree. This one has also been in the ground for a couple of years, a couple seasons. And it's also up to 10 feet. Probably won't trim it yet. And its growth point is right around 5 feet. And yeah, it's about another 6 feet of growth. It's pretty awesome. But it doesn't look like any of them will put up apples for probably another season. I don't see any flowering buds yet. Alright, I got 3 of these Asian pears. These all grew from seed. This one's a little bit younger. I think this one's in the ground for 3 seasons. It's already been pruned, but all I'm seeing is these long spikes. I'm not sure what it's trying to do, but I don't really see any flowering buds just yet. That's pretty massive already. Oh, this is also an Asian pear. It's been in the ground for about 5 seasons, and it's been fruiting for the last 3 years. So it's got these flower buds right here. And it doesn't look like it needs a pruning yet, so let them get up to about 12 feet and try to keep them around there, probably 12 to 15 feet. It's a pretty good height for them. But usually the bigger the trunk is, the more fruit they can sustain. So last year didn't make any fruit, or 2017, but in 2016 he made about 50 of them, so it's pretty impressive. So it'll be exciting to see what happens next year. Probably 100 fruits. And this one's been in the ground for a good 3 seasons at least. And it's the smallest out of the 3, but it looks like it actually has flowering buds, so yeah, kind of excited to see if it's gonna get any fruits next year. Yeah. And with all these, I'm gonna try to make sure there's at least 1 leader and then side branches that come off. That's so all the branches can get exposed to as much light as possible. Alright, moving on to the peach trees. There used to be 4 of these peach trees, but 2 of them died. I think it was probably too damp, or it probably had deer rubbing the horns on the bark, which they also got this one too, which you can kind of tell. It's leaking a lot of sap, but it seems like it's, at least this one's still alive. It's still got the, it's still got the bounce. Yeah. These also grew from seed about 4 years ago. Yeah, this one's a little bit smaller. They've been giving a lot of fruits, but yeah, it doesn't look like the peaches have been getting really big. It's probably a bad location for them because this is kind of a trough. Gets a lot of water. Alright. won't really consider this guy a fruit tree, but kind of is. It's a blackberry bush. Yeah, let it grow like a tree, and it produces pretty well every year. Sometimes the sun suckers a good 6-10 feet away. But yeah, this guy's pretty cold hardy, and yeah, it creates new canes every single year. It's a thornless type, so it makes it a lot easier to handle. Just have a little metal pipe in there. Try to keep all the canes together and upright. Let's see, here's one of the plum trees. I don't really know what happened to it. Yeah, it just ended up dying. Here's another plum tree. And these haven't really been doing much. They've been in the ground for like 4 seasons now, and still haven't given up fruits. I'm just trying to keep them alive, but yeah, just haven't been growing too well. Here's my biggest plum tree. These are all different varieties. Hopefully they'll be able to cross-pollinate, but yeah, you see the deers keep on rubbing their horns. Only way I can kind of keep them away is having a fence, but sometimes they still get in there. Yeah, it looks like this one might actually give fruit next year. It's got all these little buds. And it's about 13 feet tall, so it's pretty massive. It's actually edging in on one of my pear trees, which also looks like it has some flowering buds. This one's also fruited every other year or so. It's doing pretty good. Alright, moving on. Yeah, with almost half of these trees, I get deers rubbing the horns on them, which is a pretty big problem. I'm not sure really what to do. Well, this one's growing pretty well. It's good 13 feet up there. We actually have to keep them pretty high so the deer can't actually get to the fruits. These are one of the older pear trees. Not sure if it's surviving. Many parts of it have been dying, so perhaps the only way to really revive it is try to graft it and put it in the ground again. Here's another small pear tree. It's got a couple flowering buds up there. Might make a couple fruits. Got a cherry tree, which makes these tiny little cherries. What's more of a ornamental. Doesn't really do too much every season. It's probably a good feeding spot for robins and other birds. This guy's been in here for probably 25-30 years. It's pretty big and old. And finally, here's one of my oldest trees. It's probably been in here forever, for over 30 years. Produces hundreds upon hundreds, probably over 1,000 apples every year. And it's just massive. It's about 11 inches in diameter. They had this weather station on it, which doesn't work anymore. It's really old. But yeah, could literally climb and pick apples every single year. Only problem is it gets some fungus and pests on these apples, so they're not always the best looking, but all you have to do is peel the skin away and it still looks pretty decent. But yeah, this is my biggest and oldest fruit tree right here. Alright, that's it for fruit trees.